It's 7 o'clock. Tonight's main news. President-elect Macron pledges to unite France. Emmanuel Macron reflects on the immense task ahead after his landslide victory.
I'm Gordon Cree, live in Paris as we reflect on a historic result and look at where France goes from here.
Tonight's other headlines: tragedy in Loch Lomond after a Glasgow man is killed in a jet ski accident. Plus, why the clans have gathered in Edinburgh Castle for the first time since the Jacobite Rebellion. I'm Halla Mohieddeen. Good evening. James Mates is in Brussels for us. James, we're getting down to business apparently, but the Cabinet appears to be in all-out warfare over those negotiations. How is that affecting things in Brussels?
Well, they watch the British media very carefully and they follow the British political scene very carefully here.
Well, let's get the political reaction from our Holyrood editor, Colin Mackay. Colin, was this what was expected?
Not really what the opposition parties were expecting. We heard from a number of economists in the last few days who were predicting the worst.
Let's take a look now at more of what's happening around the world. A truck carrying fish is overturned in eastern China, spreading over 1.5 tons of seafood across the highway. Now, I don't know about you, but this certainly made me feel old. It's 20 years today since the first Harry Potter book was published. Edinburgh author J.K. Rowling was famously rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone hit the bookshelves. And the rest, as they say, is history. A very lucrative history at that. Who knew it would be the start of a $25 billion empire? The 39-year-old political newbie topped the poll with 23.8% of the votes, and he'll face the far-right National Front leader Marine Le Pen, who came second on 21.5%. There are calls for teachers to get the right training in tackling prejudice-based bullying. MSPs want all schools to have what they call an inclusive culture. With the French election just days away, the timing means substantive negotiations won't begin until May at the earliest. That gives Theresa May around 18 months to hammer home a deal. And of course, there is no going back. The UK can be ejected from the EU on the 29th of March 2019, deal or no deal. Those left behind are often left with around £2,000 of additional charges. Well, joining us now to talk about the importance of planning ahead is Barbara Chalmers from Final Fling. Thanks for joining us here on STV News Tonight. Final Fling, that sounds like a rather jolly, light-hearted affair. Well, joining me in the studio is Michael Nugent, who was diagnosed as having HIV in July last year. Thanks for coming to speak to us on STV News Tonight. It's incredibly brave of you. But I confess, I didn't know before today that medication is available to enable sufferers not to pass on the virus.
Yep, it is. It's very scary how little people know about the virus.
We understand there has been some radio silence there, a bit of an agonising wait. When do you find out whether this has all been worthwhile? This is STV News Tonight. A quick reminder of the top stories this evening. The SNP have claimed victory in the local elections. The Tories are triumphant in Scotland too, making huge gains in the local council elections at the expense of the Labour Party. Now, today is World Penguin Day, but we don't like penguins here. We're going to showcase a different cuddly critter for you. This is Lua. Yes, she's not a penguin. She's a cute baby sloth. She's being hand-reared by staff at Memphis Zoo. That just about wraps it up from us tonight. We were going to tell you about the Jack Russell, who's now become a Jane Russell instead, but it's very complicated and the online team can explain it much better than I ever could. So do check out the website, stv.tv/news. And they're off to Hawaii on honeymoon for the Spam Jam Festival. Thanks very much for joining us here on STV News Tonight. We're back tomorrow at 7. Do hope to see you then. And that was the STV News Tonight. We're back tomorrow at 7 from me and the rest of the team. Have a very good evening.